I want to put this out there because I had a heck of a time with it, and if there's some stuff that I knew about it, then I would have been quicker to fix this. Maybe. This is a GMC 2000, what is ours, 15 Yukon. This happens to be the passenger side tail light. We had the, let's get the focus going, huh? We had the right one, or the driver's side, depending on how you're looking at the car. So the driver's side tail light replaced right off the bat when we got the car. This one went about a year, and now it's gone. So what you'll typically see, and I know I got the flash on because it's nighttime and I had to get this done, is none of the lights will illuminate, except where you might get the reverse light. You know, when you unlock the doors, you might not, but you'll probably see, if it's semi-working at all, there's one LED down here that'll be illuminated in the corner, and that's it. That was what happened to the right one, sorry, the driver's, and that's what happened to this one. It just kept going out intermittently. What it is the way, there's a whole bus bar that runs down these that connect the LEDs, and I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's a little fracture. I've soldered this one and the other one. The other one looks messy. There's a tiny little fracture in these things. This one actually had a tiny little hairline fracture, but it was still intact, so I went ahead and threw some solder on it. Anyway, this one is mess. I have not cleaned off the flux yet. I'll get that all cleaned up. Come on, get some focus on there. There we go. So this one did not want a bridge, so I actually took a piece of what is it, the copper mesh, basically, that you use to desolder, and stuck it on there and put some solder on it to make that bridge that gap. It is not pretty right now. I'm gonna go back and clean it up, but I just kind of wanted to show you what we had going on here. And one of the things that might help somebody else is, I watched a video that said, hey, typically this guy is the culprit up at the top of the light, which it did have a hairline fracture in it, so it needed to be taken care of anyway. So I did that, went and plugged it in, same thing, same result. So I went down here and pushed where I thought the connection was, and sure enough, the entire light lit up. This had just broken away. So I used a razor blade, kept heating it up. This one was actually a lot cleaner, so I can put it back on and then epoxy it closed. I'll probably Dremel out, as one of the other videos had, I'll Dremel out the underside of it so that it's a little bit more hollow in this area, so that there's no chance that puts pressure on it and breaks it again. This one I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work, but the unfortunate thing is I cut a piece out. Originally, you can see how it's kind of jagged around this edge, because I cut this piece out and the brake was underneath the plastic still. I got kind of hasty and cut a little piece out, and I ended up using a larger tip to try and heat up the area around it so I could solder it more quickly, and it melted some of the plastic, so I had to desolder, come back. It would not hold or flow very well. Even with the flux, the gap was just too large, so using a piece of that copper ribbon that you use for desoldering, I was able to use that as kind of a bridge. It's copper, so it conducts very well. But anyway, that is the fix for that. It cost me nothing except my time and some, it was kind of a pain, but that's all it took. These things, when I got the price for them, was $750 to replace it. No thank you. GMC knows this is a problem. They've had these lights on back order, and so just anyone who's looking, there's what it looks like when you take it off of, stripping down, and yeah, it's great. So save yourself $750 and solder it yourself. Make sure to seal that up real well with some epoxy. I cut the plastic, hopefully I can get most of it back in there, and then put some epoxy over that, but it's got to be real sturdy and a good seal.